Welcome back to Global CEO Business Week. Welcome to the fourth edition of Global CEO Business Week, your gateway to leadership, insights, global trends, and transformative business excellence. World Bank highlights Sri Lanka's fiscal progress. Workers' remittances surged to $680.8 million in August. Sri Lanka tourism surpasses 1.6 million arrivals in 2025. Private sector borrowings cross Rs 9.5 trillion. CBSL governor strengthens Sri Lanka's voice at AFI Global Forum 2025. Colombo Robotics Meetup 2025 to transform farmers into smarter farmers. World Bank highlights Sri Lanka's fiscal progress. Sri Lanka has achieved one of the world's largest fiscal adjustments, equal to nearly 8% of GDP over 3 years, according to the World Bank's new public finance review. The report notes stability has been restored but urges the next phase to focus on fairer revenue generation, improved spending efficiency, and stronger social protection. It highlights potential to raise revenue by 2% of GDP by 2029 without harming growth or equity. Workers' remittances surged to $680.8 million in August. Sri Lanka's workers' remittance climbed to $680.8 million in August, marking the second highest monthly inflow so far in 2025 and reflecting an 18% year-on-year increase, according to the central bank. This also represents the fifth consecutive month of strong inflows, underscoring the steady recovery of foreign workers' earnings. August inflow ranks as the third highest monthly remittance in the country's history, behind $708.09 million in 2020 and $697.3 million in July 2025. Cumulative remittances for the first 8 months rose by 19.3% year-on-year to exceed $5.1 billion, the strongest performance since 2020. Sri Lanka tourism surpasses 1.6 million arrivals in 2025. Sri Lanka's tourism industry recorded 37,495 arrivals in the first week of September, pushing year-to-date figures beyond 1.6 million, a milestone achieved a month earlier than in 2024. India remained the top source market with over 10,000 visitors, followed by the UK and Germany. Tourism stakeholders view this as a confidence boost towards the ambitious 2025 target of 3 million arrivals, though caution persists over policy gaps, visa reforms, and global marketing delays. Private sector borrowings crossed Rs 9.5 trillion. Private sector borrowings rose by Rs 201.5 billion in July 2025. Pushing the total beyond Rs 9.5 trillion, according to CBSL data. Credit demand was the second highest this year, though slightly lower than June's record levels. CBSL governor strengthens Sri Lanka's voice at AFI Global Forum 2025. Central Bank Governor Dr. P. Nandalal Weerasinghe played a leading role at the AFI Global Financial Inclusion Policy Forum 2025, held in Namibia from 3 to 5th September. With 780 policymakers and regulators in attendance, the forum focused on empowering society and enabling growth. Dr. Weerasinghe shared insights in plenary sessions on accelerating digital inclusion and financial sector competition, while also engaging in the Leaders' Roundtable and strategic dialogue on sustainable ecosystems. His participation highlighted Sri Lanka's commitment to advancing inclusive finance, strengthening resilience, and aligning with global best practices to ensure equitable economic development. Colombo Robotics Meetup 2025 to transform farmers into smarter farmers. The National Enterprise Development Authority with NSBM Green University launched Colombo Robotics Meetup 2025 to transform traditional farmers into smart farmers. Scheduled for 12 September at NSBM, the initiative will integrate robotics and digital technology into agriculture with support from key national and international partners. Former Nigerian governor explores Sri Lanka's investments. Former Cross River State Governor Benedict Ayade visited Sri Lanka to explore investments in ship repair, agriculture and hospitality. He held discussions with the Colombo Dockyard and Arya Food, signed an agreement to establish a Nigerian Sri Lanka Institute of Hospitality Management, and announced plans to promote tourism, training and agricultural collaboration. The Computer Society of Sri Lanka will host a National ICT Conference 2025. The Computer Society of Sri Lanka will host the National ICT Conference 2025 from 14th to 16th October at Shangri-La, Colombo. Under the theme Fostering a Human-Centric Nation Towards Society 5.0, the conference will gather over 1,200 participants to advance Sri Lanka's digital transformation agenda. Fourth Biennial Memorial Oration honors Professor Udita Liyanage. The Postgraduate Institute of Management recently hosted the 4th Biennial Memorial Oration for Professor Udita Liyanage. Dr. Harsha Cabral, PCE, delivered the keynote, highlighting the responsibilities of company directors.
The minimum number of directors on a listed company is 5. 2 or 1/3 of non-executive directors appointed to the board of directors, whichever is higher, shall be independent. Further, the board shall require each non-executive director to submit a signed and dated declaration annually, his or her independence or non-independence against the specified criteria.
Dr. Asangarana Singha and Mr. Deepal Suryarachi also addressed the gathering. Codefest 2025 award ceremony held at SLIT. SLIT hosted the Codefest 2025 awards at its Malabar campus, bringing together schools and university talents with international participants. 14 competitions in artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, software engineering, networks and entrepreneurship showcased Sri Lanka's future innovators.
You are the architects of tomorrow's digital landscape. Your creativity, your curiosity and your courage to innovate are what will drive Sri Lanka's transformation into a global destination for technology, innovation and competitive talent.
Lachlan Murdoch secures control of family media empire. Rupert Murdoch's son Lachlan will control a new trust overseeing Fox and News Corp, ending years of succession disputes. Siblings Prudence, Elizabeth and James Murdoch will sell their shares, each receiving about $1.1 billion, ensuring Fox News' conservative stance continues beyond Rupert's leadership. Google's AI Overview worry media publishers. Google's new AI Overviews feature is reducing traffic to news sites, according to Reach newspapers. When actress Socha Kuzak left Father Brown, readers relied on Google's AI summary rather than clicking to articles. Publishers fear this trend could further erode advertising revenues already under pressure from social media platforms. Apple unveils new iPhone, watch and AirPods. Apple launched the thinner iPhone Air, iPhone 17 with improved performance and Apple Watch Series 11 with blood pressure alerts. The new AirPods Pro 3 features heart rate sensing, better noise cancellation and improved fit and live language translations. Ferrari chairman Elkann settles for tax dispute. Ferrari and Stellantis chairman John Elkann will perform a year of community service and with his siblings pay 183 million euros to settle a tax dispute over their grandmother's inheritance. Italian prosecutors confirmed. Sri Lanka to host inaugural Fintech Summit in Colombo. Sri Lanka's first ever Fintech Summit will take place on 24th and 25th September 2025 at Cinnamon Grand, Colombo. The event will gather banks, regulators, investors and fintech innovators to explore digital payments, cross-border solutions, artificial intelligence in banking and the future of financial services.
Ellison briefly tops Musk as world's richest. Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison briefly overtook Elon Musk as the world's richest person with $393 billion after Oracle shares soared, BBC reported. Musk regained the top spot later as Oracle's stock eased.
BYD strengthens India plans amid thawing relations. Chinese EV giant BYD is set to expand in India, with Managing Director Ketsu Zhang scheduled to visit. The company plans new affordable models including Atto 2 and seeks regulatory approvals to boost imports despite duties.
Time now for our banking and finance segment, where we track the big moves shaping Sri Lanka's financial sector. From top brand rankings and new leadership in the industry to market trends and policy changes, here's what's making headlines in the world of money and markets.
Dabbika Pereira expands with laughs. Dabbika Pereira, through Valuable 3, is acquiring a 40% stake in Laughs Holdings, partnering with Chairman WKH Vegapitia. The deal marks a shift to collaborative growth, adding to Pereira's fast-growing business empire across multiple industries. Ambion Capital moves into real estate. Ambion Capital and partners acquired 82% of Mylands PLC for Rs 252 million, marking a major push into Sri Lanka's real estate sector. The deal follows Ambion's Rs 900 million investment in leading hotel companies. Brown's Investments to sell Maldivian resort. Brown's Investments PLC has signed an agreement with ASB Hotel Properties Maldives Limited to sell Barcelo Whale Lagoon Maldives Resort for $57.5 million, subject to regulatory and third-party approvals. RDB marks record profit in 40th year. Regional Development Bank posted profit before tax of Rs 2.2 billion in the first half of 2025, with profit after tax surpassing Rs 1 billion. Chairman Lasantha Fernando credited disciplined strategies and customer trust for the milestone. General Manager and CEO Tilak Kumara noted lending expanded to Rs 260 billion and deposits rose by Rs 17 billion, reflecting strong growth and confidence. Central Bank launches Financial Literacy Month 2025. The Central Bank inaugurated Financial Literacy Month on September 10, 2025 under its roadmap for a financially literate Sri Lanka. The month features nationwide programs, media campaigns and training initiatives targeting youth, women, students and MSMEs, promoting savings, investments and prudent financial decision-making. CBSL reports overnight money market rates. The central bank reported the core money market transactions with a weighted average rate of 7.86% and repo market at 7.87% on 9 September. Treasury bill and bond holdings stood at Rs 2.5 trillion face value, with deposits and lending facilities recorded at 161 rupees billion and 380 rupees million.
Leadership Watch. Time now for Leadership Watch, your update on the latest leadership moves in the global corporate arena, featuring the executives driving change and shaping the future of international business.
SLAASMP appoints new Director General. Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standards Monitoring Board has appointed Shanta Hallulua as its 5th Director General, effective 1st September 2025. Hallulua brings over 2 decades of global experience in finance, accounting and auditing. Luca Di Meo, CEO of Kering. On 9 September 2025, shareholders approved Luca Di Meo as the new Chief Executive Officer of Kering, replacing franchisor Henry Pinault, who remains chairman. Kering is a French luxury group that owns iconic fashion houses such as Gucci, Saint Laurent and Bottega Veneta. Di Meo, previously with Renault, is tasked with revitalizing the group amid rising debt and slowing sales. Himanshu Kanwar, CEO of Vadilal Industries. Vadilal Industries, one of India's oldest and most recognized ice cream and frozen food brands, has appointed Himanshu Kanwar as its first non-family Chief Executive Officer. Announced on 9 September 2025, the move marks a professionalization of leadership in a company historically led by the founding family. Kanwar brings prior experience from Unilever and scaling startup support firm X2 10X. Harshavardhan Chitale, CEO of Hero MotoCorp. On 8 September 2025, Hero MotoCorp, India's largest two-wheeler manufacturer with a growing presence in the electric mobility, appointed Harshavardhan Chitale as its new CEO, effective 5th January 2026. Chitale, who previously headed Signify's professional business division, will lead Hero's transformation as it pushes deeper into sustainable mobility solutions and global markets. Himanta Vijayakon appointed interim CEO of Telecom PLC. Telecom PLC has named Himanta Vijayakon as interim CEO following the retirement of Janaka Abesinghe on 6th September. A veteran of over 30 years at SLT, Vijayakon brings strong expertise in consumer business, regional operations and international training in telecommunication management. Nirmani Jayavira de Alvis appointed CEO of Levin Group. Levin Group has named Nirmani Jayavira de Alvis as Chief Executive Officer. With over 15 years of experience in HR, strategy and operations, she aims to drive innovation, strengthen partnerships and enhance global staffing solutions.
Chit Ratnayaka appointed Global Chief E-Commerce Officer at Comaze. Comaze has appointed Chit Ratnayaka as Global Chief E-Commerce Officer and investor. With 15 years experience at Reckitt and Unilever, Ratnayaka will scale challenger brands globally through direct-to-consumer, marketplace and social and quick commerce channels. Sunil Kataria appointed CEO and MD of Godrej Agrovet. Godrej Agrovet Limited has named Sunil Kataria as the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director for a 5-year term, succeeding Balaram Singh Yadav. With extensive leadership experiences across industries, Kataria will drive growth, innovation and sustainability, reinforcing Agrovet's position as a trusted partner in India's agribusiness sector.
Marshad Barry, re-elected to lead SLMBC. The Sri Lanka Malaysia Business Council held its 31st AGM on 10th September at Hilton Colombo Residence. Marshad Barry of Amana Bank was re-elected president, joined by Tony Ganlath, Watsala Wijasinghe and Zahareen R. Hameen. Discussions focused on enhancing bilateral trade, investment, tourism and employment opportunities.
Thank you for joining us as we look forward to meeting again soon.